Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the composition of the Nigeria side of the U.S.-Nigeria Joint Working Group as part of steps to deepen collaboration in tackling security challenges in the country. The composition of the Joint Working Group was part of the agreement reached during the recent trip to Washington, D.C. by a high-level Nigerian delegation led by the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. Joining us now on the program from the nation's capital, Abuja, is Bashir Dalhatu, who is the chairman, Arewa Consultative Forum, for a discussion on the current insecurity in the country. Dalhatu will also provide insight as to whose interest is the proliferation of regional blocks of North and South serving, and how do we forge a cohesive, united Nigeria moving forward. Alhaji Dalhatu. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, the North is currently bearing the brunt of Nigeria's security crisis with, mass kidnappings in Niger, Kebbi and Kwara, terrorist attacks and bandit attacks. Now, as the chairman of the Arewa Consultative Forum, how do you assess the federal government's response to insecurity in the northern region?
Well, this problem has been going on for the last 16 years, starting from the Boko Haram now down to these bandits in the northwest. This is coming down to the north. It's in the north-central states, and it's been very, very problematic. And I think governments have been trying in their own way to tackle this problem from the beginning. But unfortunately, till now, the problems have persisted. Recently, we have seen a resurgence of attacks, but we have also noticed a resurgence of government determination to take care of it. We are very hopeful that this latest government determination will work well for all of us so that we can get to the root of this problem and eliminate it.
Understood. Thank you very much for joining us. Good morning to you, sir. I mean, when we're looking across the northern landscape of Nigeria, I think it is fair to assume that the insecurity umbrella covers a lot of different fragments of insecurity. I wonder if you could talk to us about which regions really represent which type of crisis, or is there going to be really an amalgamation of everything across the north? I'm asking because in some instances, we are hearing of herder-farmer clashes. In some instances, there is religious
I didn't quite hear the question well, but
okay.
I understand you are talking about insecurity in the north affected.
Yes, sir. What I wanted to get was your thoughts on the different types of insecurity that we see across the north of Nigeria. In some instances, we have herder-farmer clashes. In some instances, we have targeting of specific religions. In some instances, we have education being the target, people not wanting, quote unquote, Western education ideals to be prevalent across the north. So I wonder if you can talk to us about what types of conflicts we are seeing across different parts of north of Nigeria.
Well, from the beginning, we all know that it started with the Boko Haram in the northeastern part of the country. And their own, I think, is religious philosophy and ideology. They want to establish an Islamic state, and so they fight and kill anybody that they believe is a hindrance to the attainment of their philosophy. But down afterwards, when this bandits spread to the northwest, it appears to be purely commercial. They are trading in lives and properties of individuals, and they kidnap people, make money, and they don't have any particular philosophy they want to establish. They are just rampaging. I don't want to use some words, but they rampage through I think the truth is that both Boko Haram and these bandits have declared war on Nigeria. And they are not only in Nigeria, they are in other parts of West Africa. I would have thought the governments and the West African ECOWAS community should have declared the same war on them and then put together troops and fight them really squarely. And because of Nigeria's history in assisting other people throughout our own history, military history, I would have thought that ECOWAS should also focus on getting together and putting declaring a war situation so that it can be fought in Nigeria and other places that these problems are affecting. We have had our own good record of fighting, but the time has come maybe for government to consider other options. I am quite happy that the government has now ordered for the enlistment of more soldiers and security personnel into our system. But I would also think that a cheaper, more expedient way would be to re-enlist or admit retired soldiers and other security personnel that had left the services because they already have the experience, the knowledge, and they know the environment very well. Instead of enlisting fresh people that may have to go some long training. But I think that is what that can be considered actually, so that they can complement and make it easier for these people to be eliminated completely.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Alhaji. Now, let's look at some of the dynamics at play. Earlier in the week, we saw the southern governors come together to create an agenda for themselves and a strategy to try and ensure that they can keep their citizens and their constituents safe. The northern governors will also be meeting in Kaduna. Now, is Arewa Consultative Forum going to be a part of this meeting? Because I believe there are also stakeholders who've been involved. And what is the priority on the agenda for you? What should we be focusing on? Is it state police? Is it citizen sensitization? Is it community engagement? Where do you think the northern governors will be most effective in curbing what we are seeing, especially as...
Well, the northern governors have frequently meet in Kaduna, and Arewa Consultative Forum is usually part of those meetings, especially when we have some urgent issues that we would like them to consider. But essentially, our forum is an advocacy forum. We don't have executive or legislative function, but therefore it is necessary for us to align and complement those who do have those powers, so that we can bring issues, they can consider it, and they can implement them. We also advocate throughout our own communities, social issues, economic issues, so that people become aware. In the last 25 years, actually, we have done very well in terms of the advocacy thing, and
you certainly have, Alhaji. You
bring to consciousness of our people.
What I'd just like to clarify my question. I want some clarity as to whether Arewa Consultative Forum will be a stakeholder that will attend the emergency security meeting of the northern governors that will hold. I'm speaking in the context of the current emergency on security as declared by the president. Have you guys got a seat at the table?
Yes, we are very, very important stakeholders. I have to remind you that the Arewa Consultative Forum is the creation of all the northern governors, all the northern emirs and chiefs, all the northern professionals and senior and statespersons in the north. So we are stakeholders, we are representative of the people, and we collaborate with our governors and our legislators so that we can table urgent matters. But as anybody will know that the security system is the security situation in the north is the most important critical aspect that any meeting meaningful will have to consider. Without our security, all the other things will not will not be attained. So security is always part of the problem. Social issues such as unemployment, out of school children, our educational system, and our health facilities are always on the table. Okay. But like I said, if you don't have security, you are not comfortable. You cannot go to your farms. You cannot even earn a livelihood. That is getting very critical.
Okay, so what I'm
more
getting out
frightening
of this, sir, is
aspect of it all,
you don't have a representative in tomorrow's meeting.
Is covering
so, sir,
larger and bigger
I'm
areas.
going to hand over to my colleague.
It has started from Sokoto, for example. It's gone to Zamfara, Katsina. It's now in Kano.
Yes. I'm going to hand over to my colleague, but what I feel we have established here is that Arewa Consultative Forum doesn't have a representative at the meeting that is set to begin tomorrow, is what I've taken away from this.
Yeah, not to my, yes,
No
this
problem.
time because we had been very busy with our 25th anniversary, but it has always been, we are not always, we don't have a permanent seat on the governor's meeting, but we frequent it. We engage them, we discuss things with them. They invite us sometimes. We ask to be invited sometimes, but we have a very, very cordial working relationship with our governor. So we are hoping that relationship is going to translate into a far more effective approach towards eliminating our problems, in particular this festering security issues.
All right. It's good to hear that you're collaborating with the northern governors. Now, speaking about, the northern security issues, some have argued that the North's insecurity problem is partly self-inflicted, that, northern governors and elites have failed to address poverty, unemployment, educational deficits for decades, creating this condition for banditry and terrorism to thrive. I'd like to know how you respond to that criticism.
I agree with you to some extent.
That is
yes,
one question.
We are not blameless ourselves.
Right.
But that is why I said we have a lot of, part of our program is advocacy.
Mm-hmm. All right. And
for example, we keep telling our people to cut their coat.
Please proceed, sir. I didn't finish my question, but proceed.
Okay, I have got a feeling that you are asking about our own inadequacies also, and I am admitting it, that partly is our problem because we should have envisaged that the large population that we keep producing is going to cause a problem. We have about 15 million out-of-school children roaming the streets. It has now become literally impossible for any state government to take care of the problem. If we had taken care of it at the beginning, it would not have grown to this volume. But our advocacy now is still to encourage governments, individuals, and even the Arewa Consultative Forum now is going into skill acquisition for those children that have missed the opportunity to be in school, so they can be taught skills, so they can be productive citizens and reduce this pervasive instance of street children problem. We and the governments in our states have put this very high up on this agenda because some of these children have already missed the opportunity. So the only way we can make them productive is to teach them skills. One of the things that we have established last week in Kaduna is the endowment fund, which a large portion of it is going to go to the skill acquisition for those children that missed the opportunity to be in school, but also mixing up with elements of adult education and so on and so forth. We believe the social issues are as serious as also the economic issues.
All right. Well, the second leg of my question regarding insecurity is that we have seen, northern governors negotiating with bandits, paying ransom, and even advocating for amnesty programs. Now, does the Arewa Consultative Forum support negotiating with, bandits or terrorists, or do you believe that the approach should be purely military?
As I understand it, there is a very fierce debate in the North now between those who believe that you do not win this kind of problem with only military approach, and those that believe that you can win by talking, by negotiating, by consultation. The debate is still there. It's out there. The jury is still out. But I understand a mixture of the two has been used successfully in quite a number of places already. So maybe in the end, this has to be put together and applied. But I remember very well when there was an amnesty program in the Niger Delta, during those chaotic times, and it has worked perfectly. They were given amnesty. They were sent to school. They came back. They become integrated in the system, and they are useful products and citizens of Nigeria. That also aspect can be looked at in terms of the North. Most of these bandits have not have the opportunity to go to school, have not have the opportunity to actually enjoy what we ordinarily do in the cities. And it's just for government to probably, while extending hands of friendship, but also making it quite clear that what they are doing is illegal and criminal, and
so
those that are caught in the process are punished appropriately.
I'm sorry, Alhaji. I want to ask you directly. Are you saying that it is okay for this negotiation with bandits to continue by the northern governors? Are you saying that the Arewa aligns itself with negotiating with bandits? Can you hear me?
I understand that sometimes negotiations take place, and I understand obviously a lot of times they are fought and they are pushed back, and government use military might. So it has already been on the ground that they talk to them and they also fight them. And I think that has been going on. That's the choice of those in authority. And I believe it has been working. And recently, with the resurgence of government determination and also people's support for government to continue to do that, we will be able to record a lot of successes. So we look and see how it goes. It's been going on for 16 years. So many other different tactics have to be applied, and that's why I advocated for recruitment of retired military and police and other security agents so that we can flood the environment with the experience, with knowledge, and with the expertise.
All right, you have still not answered my question, Alhaji Dalhatu. But we'll move on. Now, the Muslim Council of Elders under the, Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, one of the most respected Islamic institutions in the world, has issued a powerful condemnation of, the St. Mary's Catholic School kidnapping. They call it a heinous crime that contradicts Islamic teachings. Yet, here in Nigeria, we have, seen Islamic clerics like Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, who have called, kidnapping a lesser evil, and, has suggested that negotiating with bandits rather than confronting them military is the best approach. Now, and I want to ask you this as the chairman of this forum. Where do you really stand? Do you agree with the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar that these kidnappings are anti-Islamic and are heinous crimes, or do you share Sheikh Gumi's more sympathetic view of the bandits?
In Islam and in our own Arewa Consultative Forum, killing of anybody, Christian or Muslim, is highly condemnable. It's not tolerated, it's condemned. And we in ACF were the first to condemn the Catholic school abductions. Our own position is that the life of a Christian is as good as the life of a Muslim. It's a life of Nigerian. We do not look at people from the religious perspective. We see them as Nigerians. We see them as innocent people who are being killed. And we see that government and people together must come together and associate and fight this evil together. So we are not, of course, when you have a number of people, everybody will have his own view. The Imam you quoted was right, is condemnable. We have always, even the Imam in Kaduna you quoted, also condemns killing of innocent citizens. But you cannot stop people from having an opinion on how to go about solving problems, especially.
No, but he believes that kidnapping is a lesser evil. No, he believes that kidnapping is a lesser evil.
Lesser evil than what?
Than killing.
Than what?
Than shooting, than killing people in Nigeria. That's what he believes. He said that on live television.
You would rather kidnap someone than kill him?
Yes, he says that that is what Sheikh Gumi has said.
I think killing is a higher grade than kidnapping.
Okay.
I think if you give me a choice to whether I should be kidnapped or killed, I will tell you to kidnap me and not to kill me. And therefore, I will tell you not to kill anybody, any Nigerian. But if you are comparing them, but both of them are not the choice. Both of them are condemnable, but both of them must be fought in one way or the other. And that's why I think a government has been grappling with this problem for 16 years. Nobody wants to be kidnapped. No government wants its own citizens to be kidnapped. Nobody wants anybody, Christian or Muslim, to be killed, obviously. And we have always not looked at this problem as a Muslim or Christian problem. We see it as Nigerians and as useful citizens, as potentially productive people who will be useful to our country. So any loss, whether by kidnap or by death, is a very huge minus in our own social system.
If I'm to understand you correctly, it does sound as though you agree with what Sheikh Ahmed Gumi has said, that you do also believe that kidnapping is a lesser evil and that you yourself would rather be kidnapped than killed. So branching off of that, are we also to assume that you and perhaps even the ACF itself believe that Sheikh Ahmed Gumi's voice is a valid one in these conversations about how best to tackle insecurity in the north? Are you saying that you agree with what he has been saying, what he has been doing thus far, and that you think his voice is valid?
No, I went on ahead to tell you that both of them are criminal offenses. Both of them should not be tolerated, and both of them should be punished, kidnapping or death. But if you just ask me a stark question between being kidnapped and being dead, I answered you that I'm sure.
But my question is about Sheikh Gumi himself, Alhaji. Do you think that Sheikh Gumi's voice itself is valid in these conversations about how best to tackle insecurity?
Everybody's voice is valid because we are all Nigerians. We have different opinions, and the Constitution allows us to express our views. But that doesn't mean that my view or yours is the correct one or is the right one to follow. In the end, government position and government use is to aggregate views, aggregate its own circumstance, and follow the route that it feels is best going to serve the interests of Nigerians as a whole. But you cannot stop any individual from expressing his view. That is guaranteed by the Constitution. That, however, doesn't mean that I accept or you agree with it, but it's allowed. Anybody can have a view. Whether that view is productive, useful, or doable is another question entirely.
Well, the freedom of speech is also not all-encompassing. It does have limitations when it becomes inflammatory and insightful. But let me move on. The reason why earlier I'd asked you if Arewa Consultative Forum will be participating in this in the emergency meeting that will be held with the northern governors is because the general public sentiment at the moment is that the 19 governors of the North and the key stakeholders in the North have been somewhat sympathetic, lethargic in reacting to the current security crisis that we have. We saw the southern governors rushed to do their own meeting. Meanwhile, the majority of the cases that we're reading about have happened in the northern part of the country. Now, you also hear legislators in both the House of Reps and the Senate saying that you know who these bandits are, that they are known, but that they are protected by important people. So I would love for you to give me your insight. Do relationships, lines of communications exist with these bandits? And if they do, why has this not been dealt with? Why is there sympathy in dealing with criminality?
Believe me, we are all as, if not more frustrated than you are. It will offend our sensibilities, like I told you, if anybody would suggest that anyone, any sensible person in northern Nigeria should or would assist, collaborate, or tolerate these killings and kidnappings. We are totally condemning it. People have been suffering. There are those who get killed every day. There are those who lose limbs by the minute. There are those who lose their means of livelihood by not being able to go to their farms. Nobody would know in his right senses, would know a killer or a kidnapper and still tolerate such a situation. But like I mentioned earlier, we are a big country. We are a big region. You cannot expect every single one of us to think exactly alike or to act exactly.
I believe we are losing connection again, Vimbai.
Maybe we'll just chat while we'll chat briefly. So many things have emerged from this. What I'm trying to establish from him is, he's saying that it's not possible that they would know who these people are and action wouldn't be taken, which is contrary to what we've heard. Even the governor of Zamfara State, Daouda Lawal, said he knows where they are.
Even the president
they said they know where they are.
was on our program saying that they know where these people are.
Where these people are. Yeah. So my question is, the northern governors are having an emergency meeting tomorrow. Arewa Consultative Forum is not attending. They said they're busy with their 25th year anniversary. Suddenly we don't know who these culprits are. Alhaji Dalhatu, I believe you're back with us. Who is protecting these people? Alhaji? Okay, I don't think Alhaji can hear me just yet, but that's my question. Who is protecting these people?
We have him. I think we have him now. Do we?
When we ask difficult questions, for some reason our guests can never hear us.
Somehow.
But
it's everywhere go first blow. Sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, you make a very valid point as to how is it that these government officials keep saying that they know where these people are and nothing is being done. We had Bayo Ononuga on our nightly news program Prime Time, I believe earlier this week, saying that one of the reasons that the security forces don't go and invade these communities is to prevent collateral damage and all of that. I believe that we have the...
Okay. Alhaji Dalhatu, just in one sentence, I'll summarize my question. Who is protecting these bandits and terrorists? All right. I think we're out of luck. We're out of luck with this. Yeah.
Yes, so as I was saying, that one of the reasons why, these security forces don't move in to attack these terrorists and bandits is to prevent, collateral damage. And, he said something about these, terrorists use our civilians as human shield. He also mentioned, this incident that occurred, I believe it was in Sokoto or was it in Kaduna, where the Air Force base, killed a lot of civilians. But, I mean, Nigerians don't want to keep hearing this sort of rhetoric over and over again that we cannot move in to tackle insecurity, we cannot move in to kill the terrorists before they attack. But I also loved your submission when you talked about the freedom of speech is not absolute. I got a lot of comments, I got a lot of questions. People were asking, I mean, if everyone is allowed to speak freely, then what happens to the leader of the indigenous peoples of Biafra, who has been sentenced to life because of his insightful comments? Again, freedom of speech is not absolute. There are insightful rhetorics, there are insightful comments that could land you in jail.
Yes. Your freedom ends where my nose begins.
Your freedom ends
that note, we thank Alhaji Bashir Dalhatu, chairman of the Arewa Consultative Forum, for the time he gave us today. Hopefully we'll catch up with him another day.